Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So if you're new to this channel, hi, I'm Rebecca, but if you're already subscribed, welcome back. So today I'm back with another sit down video, and today's video is very important for all of you who are just starting to have interest in the medical field, or you may be already enrolled in a medical school but you still don't know how long it takes to become a doctor or how long it takes to reach your goal. So that's why today I'll be talking about how long it takes to become a doctor in Malaysia. I personally feel that this is very important for you to know, and you should kind of have an idea of what you're getting yourself into, because everybody is different and not everybody wants to graduate late, and not everyone wants to keep on studying their entire life. So just for your information, the years that I'll be giving you guys is just an estimation, because everybody's path is different. You will go into different specialties, so it really depends on what path you choose. So I'll be just giving you guys a range of years. Everything starts after SPM, so if you already know that you want to become a doctor, make sure you do very well for your SPM, and make sure you took science subjects like bio, chem, physics, because those subjects will be your minimum requirement to enter pre-med. After you get your SPM results, this will be the time for you to choose your pre-medical course. Basically, you can either choose from A-levels, STPM or FIS. You choose it based on how fast you want to enter medical school. So for A-levels and STPM, they will take about 2 years for you to complete it, but for FIS it will only take you 1 year, and that's what I took, mainly because I got a scholarship from IMU. If not, I will probably be in STPM. So yeah, thank you IMU for that. So once you're done with your pre-medical course, you can either choose to take a year off, or if you want to continue straight to medical school, it's also fine. So most of us obviously chose to go straight into medical school because we don't want to forget the knowledge that we learned. It really depends on you. If you want to take a break, just take a break, because medical school is gonna be long. Once you enroll yourself in a medical school in Malaysia, it will take you 5 years to complete it. 2.5 years will be for your preclinical, and another 2.5 years will be for your clinical years. But I think it kind of differs for each university. Some will be like 2 years preclinical, 3 years clinical, so it really depends. So after 5 years, you're finally done with medical school, but you're still not a doctor. I mean, you're a doctor on cert, but if you just stop here, you wouldn't get to practice, so you're still not a doctor. So what you have to do? You have to go for Housemanship, which is a compulsory service in Malaysia. To get there, it's kind of difficult because honestly these days, new medical graduates have been waiting very long for a placement in the hospital. All the best to future new medical graduates, including me. So yes, the waiting period for a placement for Housemanship is really long, and I don't know how it works, but I think it also depends on how fast your medical school sign you up for a placement. People have waited for 8 to 1.5 years. It really depends. If you're lucky, you might get earlier, or if you're unlucky, you will have to wait even longer. When you're waiting for a placement for Housemanship, you can basically do anything you want. You can take a break and go for a holiday, live abroad. If you want to help out in your medical school to teach your new juniors as a peer tutor, that's fine as well. So once you get a placement for Housemanship, you will have to complete these 2 years of compulsory service in a government hospital. You can't do that in a private hospital. You only have to do that in the government hospital. During Housemanship, your life will be very hectic. There will be no fixed working hours. You will be on calls, and you have to cover if some other doctors can't make it to the hospitals. So it's very hectic, and nothing's fixed. Despite you having lack of sleep, running around the hospital trying to save lives, trying to save your country, sadly to say, nowadays Malaysia doesn't guarantee you a place after HO. So after HO, you're still not guaranteed if you will become a MO, which sucks, because if you are not a permanent MO, you can't become a specialist. After completing 2 years of compulsory Housemanship, you're finally a doctor. Now you can continue to work in a hospital as a general doctor and maybe gain some experience. If you are capable enough and you want to set up your own clinic, go ahead, you can do that. But what if you don't want to stop here? You can also choose to continue studying to become a specialist. But in order for you to do that, you have to work for at least 2 years as a permanent medical officer before you get to specialize in anything that you want. With that being said, our future is kind of blurry right now, because if you're not a permanent medical officer, you can't specialize. So yes, Malaysia, you gotta step up your game. So let's say you got to become a medical officer and you have completed 2 years of extra service. So right now it's time for you to choose which specialty you want to get yourself into. So basically there are tons of specialties that you can choose from, like dermatology, emergency medicine, surgeon, ophthalmologist, anesthesiologist, I don't know how to pronounce that. Or you can also be an internist. So there are tons for you to choose from. But if you're thinking that you can just straight away jump into those specialties, you are wrong, because we have to be extra qualified before getting into those specialties. So with that being said, you have to sit for another examination. I'm not sure for other specialties, but I'll be talking for dermatology because I'm interested in that field. After you graduate from HO, you have to complete your MRCP examination before you're qualified to study dermatology. For MRCP, it really depends on how fast you complete all of the examination. You have 3 parts, and some of those parts you can take when you are a houseman, but you will have to complete all 3 parts of MRCP in a span of 7 years. If you're like super smart and you're super hardworking and you already completed some during your housemanship, so I don't think you have to wait that long before you continue studying for dermatology. So I will just put 2 years after you graduate from housemanship. So yes, after you're done with MRCP, you can finally study the specialty that interests you. The number of years for you to complete a specialty differs from one another. So it will range from 4 to 5 years, and that's only your studying period. Just to let you guys know, when you're studying for your specialty, this is very different from your medical school because you're basically working and studying at the same time. So after you're done with studying for your specialty, which took about 4 to 5 years, you finally get to train to be a specialist. The training period for each specialty differs as well. So you can have 2 to 6 years of training. It really depends on which specialty you choose. So after you're done with the training period, you're finally a specialist. So if you're thinking, okay, once I'm done with specialization, what am I gonna do? It really is basically up to you. So you can work in a hospital, start up your own clinic, start up your own hospital, or if you're ambitious and crazy enough, you can also take up your second specialization or even your third one. It really depends. So adding all of the years up, I know it's crazy. It takes you about 20 years for you to become a specialist upon graduating from high school. That's just the minimum. I didn't include any breaks in between. So if you are taking a year or 2 off, you are basically adding up your years. But it really depends on you. You don't have to rush to become a specialist. If you don't want to become a specialist, it's also fine. You can just work as a general doctor. There's really no issue with it. You're still a very important person. I know that it seems crazy that it will take you so long to reach your goals, but these 20 years will pass anyways. You're still gonna go through these 20 years if you live long enough. If you really want to do that, and if that makes your life happy, just go for it. If you guys are thinking like, if I'm gonna study for extra 20 years upon graduating from high school, when am I ever gonna start my family life? Oh, job, I don't think you'll be thinking about this if you're like 15, 16 or 17 years old, but you would definitely think about this if you're already in your 20s. But don't worry, you can still start a family at any point of your education life. So yeah, you basically can get married after you are done with your medical school, or during your housemanship, during your specialization, during your MO, anything's possible as long as you found someone that's very supportive of your goals, and that person would not hinder you from reaching your goals, and then that's fine. We have come to the end of the video. I hope that this video will be useful for you guys. I hope that you guys will kind of have an idea of how long it takes for you to become a doctor or to become a specialist. Thank you so much for watching my video today. Don't forget to click the subscribe button down below and give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye guys!